As we approach tax season and still recover from holiday spending, the president of Life Coach Financial, Renee Rebelo, is here to help us get our finances in order. Renee, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. We'll start with this. It's new this morning, a year after the CRA faced criticism for long wait times and offering bad advice last year. It says taxpayers should have an easier time filing this year after it revamped its operations. That sounds like good news.
Yeah, and it's definitely, well, the proof is in the pudding. When we start calling in and trying to get service and answer questions regarding our tax returns, I guess we'll see that if it actually happened. Right now, a lot of people are, with the RSP deadline coming up for March 2nd, a lot of people are kind of, big questions. Should I RSP or should I not RSP? It's a nice incentive to get a little bit of money back on your taxes. However, it's not for everybody. And when I talk to people about RSPs, then I say, are you making over $93,000 a year? At $93,000, it quickly jumps from a 30% tax bracket to a 43% tax bracket within $20,000 worth of income. So right now, a lot of people should be looking at tax deductions for their taxes and having all their paperwork accumulated for when they do file their taxes. It also helps you when you call CRA to be prepared for those questions that they're going to ask you for reasons to confirm your identity. The other thing with RSPs is to make sure that you're planning for decumulation. So, you might get the tax break today, but what's your rate going to be later when you have to pull that money out? And what kind of cash flow is that going to provide for you? And when you get that cash flow, are you in a situation where you're going to get an OAS clawback? These are all topics that are top of mind right now. And with the deadline approaching us on March 2nd, a lot of people should be asking these questions of whoever they're buying their RSPs from or their accountant.
All right. So as for tackling holiday debt, we're going to be getting, statements in the mail saying we owe, X amount of dollars. Where do we start with that?
Well, some of the things that you can do is replace that debt with, an RSP loan. So you can look at doing potentially an RSP loan, taking the rebate from the loan and paying off the debt. This is where you need to sit down with your tax preparer and play with the program to find out, hey, if I put $10,000 into RSP and I get $7,000 back, I can pay off those credit cards. So now you've replaced some bad debt with good debt because now you put the money into your savings. So as people look at those bills that are coming in from the holidays, strategizing and a plan of attack, working with your financial expert is best. It's best to look at all those different options.
Renee, is tax time also a good time to revisit our household budget and to review our expenses as well?
Absolutely, because when you're looking at tax time, you're looking at how much money you made in a year and you're like, wow, look how much I paid in tax. How could I increase my cash flow monthly or better use my cash flow or find other ways to create additional cash flow going forward for the rest of the year into next year so that you're prepared for some of those things you'd like to do or some of those major purchases that you're going to make this year. So always making sure that you're structured properly with regards to where your money is coming in from, where it's going out, and is it tax efficient?
We got about 20 seconds in terms of tax prep. Do we need to know anything special?
Just, make sure that you have all your paperwork together when you're looking prepared to file your taxes. Ensure that you know your limits for your RSPs and your TFSAs because the government does have a nice 1% penalty per month if you go over your contribution. So just making sure you're working with somebody to cover all those things.
Great advice from Renee Rebelo. Renee, thanks for joining us this morning. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. You too.
More news, weather, traffic coming up after the break here on Morning Live.